All rise. Thank you, Corporal Joyner. I'd like to invite everyone to remain standing through the end of the Pledge of Allegiance. But first, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Crawford for our invocation.
Let's bow for prayer. Lord God, it is with grateful hearts that we come before you this evening to ask your guidance through this time of meeting, any decisions we make. God, we hope and pray that you will inspire us to make the right decisions for the betterment of our community and our county. Lead, guide, and direct us. Keep us all safe. Be with those that are hurting, especially tonight. Be with those men and women that are in service of our armed forces and the situation there in the Middle East. Keep them safe. We love you and praise you for all you've done for us and will continue to do. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. It's my privilege to recognize Chairman Pro Tem Vanover for introduction of a guest.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got a special guest with us here tonight that's going to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Logan Atkins over here underneath the sign. He's a true inspiration to me and a lot of people in this room. Overcome a lot of adversities in his life. Just a fine young man. Probably be a future governor of the state of Tennessee. So, Logan.
Mr. Atkins, you're recognized, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins. When the board opens, please record your presence. Has every member recorded their presence? I recorded them, yes I have. Madam Clerk.
19 present, 5 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The work session of the Sullivan County Commission, March 2026, is in session. I didn't want anybody to look up here later in the meeting and say, man, John looks a lot better. Deborah and I are going to be out of town next week. We have one turning 30 years old next Thursday, so we're going to be out of town, and we have some logistics. I go in Miss Jacobs' office every Friday after the commission meeting and sign resolutions. I won't be available to do that next week, so I want to let very capable Chairman Pro Tem Zane Vanover get ready for next week's meeting by chairing this meeting. So, sir, you use it well and use it often. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first order of business is the Speaker, Purchasing Agent, Ms. Chris Davis, is going to give us a brief update on the status of the RFQs for tourism services. So you're recognized, Ms. Davis.
Thank you. Just wanted to give you guys a brief overview of where we're at in the process for the RFQ for the tourism enhancement services. Issued out the RFQ on that, and we received 12 responses back, so that was great. It was phenomenal to get 12 back. So the evaluation team has completed the first phase of that process to narrow it down to the top 3. So they've worked really, really hard on this. I'm really proud of them all. It took a lot of time to go through 12 proposals. I don't think any of them read them probably less than 3 times to grade and score them. So they've done a really, really good job and a lot of hard work on that. So we will go into the second phase to narrow it down from the 3 to the 1. So it's kind of like a game show. To the top finalists, we'll hope to bring you back a recommendation next month for out of the 3. And that's it. Just want to give you an overview of where we're at.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Anyone have any questions for purchasing agent Chris Davis?
I told you I'd be brief.
Seeing none, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Next order of business will be public comment. As our habit, we will address the public comment. Here are the rules for each speaker when the time comes. Number 1, each speaker is requested to state their name, thank you, Andrew, and address for the clerk's electronic record. This is not a question and answer. Clarifying questions are permitted. No speaker can transfer or yield their time to another speaker. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes uninterrupted and is asked to direct all comments to the chair of the body, not the members. At the end of the 3 minutes, I will let you know and ask that you make a final statement. Citizens of Sullivan County, Tennessee may be allowed to address the Board of Public Sign-In with a public sign-in sheet for requesting an opportunity to address the board. Should be made available by 5:30 in each meeting. The sign-in sheet shall require the individual's name, address, brief description of the subject of the comments. The public sign-in sheet will be given to the chair at the commencement of the meeting. The chair shall review the public sign-in sheet and open the floor for public comment at the time designated. Each individual should be given 3 minutes to address the board. A total of 30 minutes will be allotted for public comment. At this time, we'll open up the floor to public comment on non-agenda items. First on the list, Mr. Michael Gilley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I spoke with the commission twice in February. Since then, I've heard from a lot of folks about what I said about the juvenile court here in Sullivan County. Some folks expressed support, some disagreed, and some just wanted to let me know about good things coming down the pipeline here in Sullivan County.
Mr. Gilley, can I interrupt you? Just state your name and address.
I apologize. Michael Gilley, 1257 Valley Park Drive, Kingsport. I don't think that my point came across quite clearly. Sullivan County has a fantastic juvenile court that I'm very proud of. The people employed by the court are incredibly hardworking and dedicated people. They see people at their worst and they help them get to their best. When I first started practicing law, Judge Tui and Judge Conkin were very kind to me. They both appointed me to my very first cases. They probably didn't think much of it. This was just them doing their jobs. But those appointments kept food on my table and paid rent when times were tough. Working for the state has been life-changing for me, and I would not be in my position without the Sullivan County Juvenile Court, and especially Judge Tui and Judge Conkin. That's something that I'm never going to forget. I met Judge Vance when he was serving the Public Defender's Office. I would pick his brain about cases, and he would pause what he was doing to answer my questions. I think that's just in his nature, to help people that are in need. And I remember his kindness every time that an attorney calls to pick my brain. Now, I did not meet Judge Nelson until she took the bench, but she knows juvenile law inside and out. With 25 years of experience before taking the bench, she's probably one of the most qualified juvenile judges in the state. And you're going to be hard-pressed to find anyone that says that she is not an excellent judge. I also want to recognize the people who keep the juvenile court system running day to day. Greg Walters and Michelle Stedman, the juvenile court directors, and also their staff work incredibly hard for this county. So, I want to come back to the request I made previously about the juvenile court last month. I'm asking today that the commission make no modifications to the juvenile court at this time. There's a lot that the courts and also community providers are doing behind the scenes, and quite frankly, I just wasn't aware of it. Again, I've heard about some projects that are in the pipeline. They sound very promising to me. There's some that I can't talk about given my position, but I'll tell you this helps me sleep a lot better at night hearing about them. There's also a lot of external factors at play. TBI lab always has a backlog. For some attorneys, their favorite word is continuance. And of course, the effects of the COVID pandemic are still around. So last month when I came here, I hope to spark a conversation about how to fix the core issue of our family and community rating. I think in that respect I was successful. I think folks started talking about it. I think that there's a lot of possible solutions to the problem. I think doctors, teachers, law enforcement officers, social workers, and many more are going to have a lot of different perspectives on a possible solution. So I would ask that each of you reach out to those folks and get their opinions. And hopefully we're going to figure out an issue, or we're going to figure out a solution of getting our rating much, much higher. So Sullivan County can be #1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilly. Anyone have a question for Mr. Gilly? Seeing none, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next on the list, Jay Baldoff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jay Baldoff, 449 Lakeshore Road, Bluff City, Tennessee. I wanted to address the meeting that we had with the volunteer firefighters and the 2 mayoral candidates last week, and the Facebook comment by one of the candidates that seems to upset a lot of the commissioners. First of all, in the meeting, there was nothing said by the volunteer firefighters that inspired that comment. The volunteer firefighters are very grateful to the commissioners of Sullivan County for everything they do for us, especially the annual donation, the truck rotation, and we consider ourselves the best equipped firefighters in the Northeast Tennessee. And what happened was there were 5 questions placed to the 2 candidates that they answered, and then after the candidates answered those 5 questions, the talk went into problems that we were having with the fire departments, and the biggest problem we're having is recruitment and retention, and we basically brainstormed some ideas, and you will see in the next couple of months, we'll probably introduce some resolutions on some of these ideas and things that we're going to need to look at and do to basically get retention and recruitment up in the fire departments, to basically get volunteers back into the fire departments so that we have more personnel. But there was nothing wrong with equipment or anything else coming from the county, and I just wanted everybody to know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baldoff. Any questions? Commissioner Locke.
Hey, sir, I got a question for you.
Oh.
So with the recruitment retention issues, are y'all still utilizing the Join Me trailer and going?
Yes,
out?
we're using the training trailer, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then are y'all doing anything else on social media to try to recruit people in your all's area?
Yes, we are using social media.
Still not?
It's just not working.
How many new members have you in your department has came in past year?
Probably 2.
And how many is in your department now, fully active, like not hit or miss?
Fully active, about 23.
How many?
23.
23. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list, Bennett Cohen.
Thank you, Chairman. It's Bennett Cowan, 2 N's and 2 T's, 108 Stonecroft Circle, Bristol, Tennessee. I'm speaking tonight on your approval of signing a 287 contract with DHS and ICE last month. Since you have validated your racist and pseudo-Christian character, I will speak to your fiducial responsibility to the Sullivan County taxpayers instead. Since each of you has read and understood the contract as a part of your own due diligence, I will point out a few items that may have escaped your attention. My sources are the Brennan Center for Justice, the Brookings Institute, the Cato Institute, and several other sources that I'll be glad to share with you. 287G contracts have been around since 1996. There's a world of data, 30 years of data from communities like ours, all public information. There's no data showing that 287 contracts have ever decreased crime in a community.
Let's talk local impact. There were 40 localities with 287G contracts looked at in depth and found that immigrant households alone added $66 billion to spending power and $24 billion tax revenues, both direct and indirect. Mecklenburg and Alamance counties in North Carolina saw sales tax and business revenues plummet and commissioned the North Carolina Chapel Hill branch to commission to explain why. And guess what? Immigrants stop work, stay home, and move. Prince William County, Virginia ended a 10-year contract in 2020, secondary to local budget, daily operating costs, and maintenance fees. They spent $25.9 million in 5 years for staffing and detention costs. That's approximately $8 million for Sheriff Cassidy if we prorate the number of the population. Training and detention are expensive. It's front-loaded. Fill up your multi-million-dollar jail with ICE detainees. LA County, California had a length of stay ICE detainees of 32.3 days. All other arrested folks were 11.7. Daily operating costs, maintenance fees, and administrative costs for documenting that stay is huge, front-loaded, and hopefully not guaranteed to be reimbursed. Good luck on timely reimbursement. Litigation is the real moneymaker. All liability costs for ICE detainees will belong to the local entity. Did anybody miss that little tidbit in the contract? ICE detainers are paper requests to hold detainees longer than lawful incarceration times. How can you say no to the very people your reimbursement depends on? The 4th and 14th Amendment are alive and well. Wrongful arrest, wrongful detention are very expensive. $55,000 up to $300,000 per individual. You might want to pay attention to what federal judges are doing slowly, patiently, and off your radar. Local law enforcement can, is, and will be held liable. You're going to need way more than 10 public defenders. To saddle Sullivan County taxpayers with the additional burden is fiscal irresponsibility, especially when gas, groceries, and rents are already stretching households to the limits. On behalf of every lawyer in Sullivan County, thank you for the gravy train that's getting ready to hit. Your delusions come at our expense. And to quote a famous Forrest Gump, stupid is as stupid does. I'll be glad to take questions.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list, Jenna Wingo.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Jenna Wingo. I live at 245 Pond Springs Road in Kingsport, 37664. I'm a mom of a Sullivan County third grader. I'm a wife of a Navy veteran. My dad is a Navy veteran. My mom is a retired public school teacher with 46 years in the classroom. I received my master's degree at UT in Knoxville. I used to work for the state of Tennessee as a Department of Children's Services case manager. Now I'm a member of Tri-City Solidarity Project. We are a newly founded immigration advocacy organization in this area. I am here today to talk about the resolutions that you voted for in approval of the 287G contract with Sullivan County Sheriff's Department. I have a team of colleagues that all have chosen to be here today in support, who would also like to speak with you about their knowledge of 287G, which you just heard. Lots of facts there, factual data. Our sister agency is ACAN, Allies for Knoxville's Immigrant Neighbors. We're really worried about the continued 287G agreements between Sullivan County Sheriff's Department and ICE. Specifically, the warrant service officer and task force models. Sullivan County officers can now serve ICE administrative warrants on people detained for simple traffic violations, and then those detainees are brought to our jail at our expense. Our Sullivan County officers can now transport detainees from our jail to ICE-approved detention facilities at our expense. Sullivan County officers can now question people about their immigration status in the street and arrest them based solely on suspected immigration violations. Suspected. At our expense. Assigning our county deputies to ICE-related activities has a lot of risks. Tri-City Solidarity Project are really worried about that. It's expensive. It results in deportation for minor offenses. It encourages racial profiling. It erodes community trust in law enforcement. The paralysis of fear right now in the immigrant community in Sullivan County is palpable. Federal immigration enforcement is not a county law enforcement responsibility. It should never have been. I would respectfully ask that you, as our county commissioners, meet with Tri-City Solidarity Project in the future. We've been studying 287G for years now. We have so much facts, so much data to present to you about the liabilities of this program. I think we could be a valuable resource for you, and I thank you for your time and your service to our community.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions? Thank you for your time. Next, Mr. Roy Davis.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Roy Davis. I'm with the American Legion in Bristol, Tennessee. I live in Bluff City on the 470 Elizabethton Highway. This was kind of impromptu, but we were supposed to have a proclamation tonight for the Be the One for suicide awareness for the whole county. And Todd McKinley has been here. I'm sure y'all know Todd McKinley. He's on the Hill right now. Today he went there. And I'm just going to quickly read a letter that he had sent for his intent for the whole, excuse me, the whole state of Tennessee. This is his words. My intent is to create the annual event that follows the National Washington Conference and falls on the second Thursday of every March, which is today. In fact, the Legion Family Day on the Hill will help us make a household name, excuse me, will help us make a household name again for our department, by our department, claiming that the premier spot as go-to veteran service organization in the state, whether a state legislator asked or not. This is our state. We served here in our nation, and we will not be ignored. No more playing second fiddle to outside forces who want to take advantage of our veterans on the volunteer state. Doing this will have a primary effect of ensuring the great Department of Tennessee is being heard and listened to by our elected officials. It will cement our place in being a go-to when our legislators and their staff need advice when they need a VSO to testify on any number of topics. Attacking this mission from this perspective will create buzz amongst other VSOs, i.e. DAV, VFW, and vets, and especially American Legion, and veterans alike, creating an ancillary effect of making recruiting somewhat easier. However, these primary and secondary effects must be taken advantage by all active Legionnaires and the greater Legion family, or they will wither on the vine. Additionally, I would like to see all 95 counties statewide to make every second Thursday of March as Be the One day in their respective county, like my home county, Sullivan, is going to do this year. This will take work by every post to get active, and no better time like this in Department Legislative Month. Now this, Be the One is our logo from American Legion, which has been adopted for now for 4 years. We do a walk in Bristol every April. We'll probably move it to March 12th, depending on the weather, or the second Thursday. But this will be the 4th year that we're doing it. We walk 2.2 miles from our post up State Street, up Piedmont and over to Cumberland Park, and do a little memorial service and then walk back. We've had 8 different posts, 3 different districts in this region come and do this walk with us. So we've had over 75 people come and do this walk. It's a little 2.2 mile jaunt. This year we're hosting a breakfast in the morning. If you're interested, we can reach out to your American Legion there in Bristol or contact me. One of the things that we've been doing, excuse me, I personally just did one last week. Sorry. This is the top priority of Be the One. the nation, change is underway to reduce the number of military affiliated Americans excuse me, who were lost to suicide. Various estimates has put the daily toll at 18 or 22, while others say figures underestimate the real numbers. In any case, the American Legion believes one is too many. That is why the American Legion has prioritized raising awareness about the issue, providing free, excuse me, free suicide prevention training, and reassuring those who find themselves struggling that it is okay not to be okay. Our goal is to talk openly and boldly about the challenge affecting Americans every day. Be the one to act, to call, to serve, to save. And their number is 988 for anybody, not just veterans. 988 is suicide prevention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll move into old business. Item 1, recognize Commissioner Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Vice Chair. Temporary, whatever that title is, I asked that this be withdrawn.
Right. Without objection, item 1 will be withdrawn next week. Moving on into new business, item 2, recognize Commissioner McMurray.
Thank you, Chair. This is a resolution to fix the compensation for, excuse me, the delinquent tax attorney, Jim Williams. Pursuant to the statute, we can raise this up to 10%. Currently, right now, he's operating at 8%. And I understand that, budget time, their finances are really important to everyone here. But I'll give you guys a little speech I think I give to all of my clients. Buying an attorney is like buying a used car. You can get you a cheap one. You can go out here for buy one for $200-300, but it might not make it up and down the road. What this is, how he gets paid is it's a commission based. All right. 1, this is recognizing the good job that he's done so far. 2, this is an incentive for him to work even harder. And I believe that ultimately it will make us more money in the long run. We've got a very good delinquent tax attorney in the past. We've had some problems. Mr. Williams and his office has cleaned up a lot of those problems. And I think he's doing a good job. And I think this is best for all of us. There are a couple of provisions at the very end which kind of address some of the issues that we've had in the past. So in the event that we do terminate this, this relationship, he will have 30 days in order to file all of his paperwork and to get any of the petitions that he has filed. I think it's within 60 days to the Sullivan County Chancery Court. So this kind of addresses, in the event, which I don't believe is very likely, that we do have to terminate this relationship, and it addresses what pay, if any, he can get. I would ask that this be on consent. And I have spoke to Angela Taylor, and this is her recommendation.
The board is open for questions or comments. Anything for the sponsor? Commissioner Ward.
So he's paid solely on commission?
That's correct.
No salary, nothing else, only what he collects from delinquent taxes.
That's right. So the more money he makes, the more money we make.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Last word on the resolution, you're asking for consent, correct?
I am.
Any other questions? Commissioner Hopper.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Just a quick question. Previously, how have delinquent taxes, the cash flow has been in the past? Has it been a substantial amount? Has it been minimal? What's it been like?
In the past, I could tell you, just generally speaking with some of the judges, I haven't sat down and looked at the numbers, but I am familiar just speaking to some of the judges. It is a significant amount. I don't want to get into too much detail about maybe some of the, one particular attorney that we did have doing some delinquent tax sales. I'll leave it at, we had some issues. And it was a big problem, and I think it was something that kind of reared its head pretty recently when Mr. Williams took over. But we sent out, I believe it was like a bidding process to all of the attorneys in town to actually bid on this. And Mr. Williams and his office was chosen. I believe he's been doing this for approximately a little over a year now. He's cleaned up a mess. He's worked hard. He's doing good. Currently, he's at 8%. And what we're asking for is that be raised to the statutory amount that's set, which is 10%.
Thank you.
To answer your question, I can't get to the hard numbers. I'd be happy to later.
Thank you. Any other discussion for Commissioner McMurray on item 2? Hearing none, we'll place item 2 on consent if there's no objection and move on to item 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'd like to recognize Commissioner Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your packet, if you'll notice those 3 different resolutions, 3 through 6, all have to do with the school system. And these are monies that's coming in with no matching funds. They are some grants and other monies that's being appropriated for different programs within the school system. And if you look those 3 over, I'd like to go ahead and just vote on those. Being there's no money involved here, can we just put these on consent?
There's no objection. Superintendent Carter is here if anyone has any questions for him. Any questions for Superintendent Carter or Commissioner Crawford? Hearing none, we'll take items 3, 4, 5, and 6 and place on the consent calendar. We'll move on to item 7, Commissioner King.
Thank you. There we go. This resolution is to apply for a grant from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation through the Hurricane Helene Solid Waste and Debris Management Grant Program. After Helene came through, there was a lot of waste and stuff that a lot of the local counties had to get rid of and do something with. And this money is to go towards the counties to help buy supplies and in case we have another disaster, that we'll have the equipment and know how to be able to remove this and how we're going to dispose of it and where it's going to go. And, there's several things involved in it, but still, it's it's $357,000 and no matching funds for the county. So if we get there, we won't have to match anything. But this is something that, this is looking foresight down the road. If we have another disaster that we did when Helene hit, then we're going to be more prepared. We'll have equipment and stuff and the know-how to be able to dispose of the waste and all the stuff that happens when we have these disasters. So with that said, this is the only to apply for. There's no money at this time involved with this resolution, so it's just applying for it. And if we get it, and Chris Davis can apply the numbers to this, and then we would be able to spend it. But as of right now, there's no money involved in it. It's if we apply for it and get it, then there will be money involved. So I'd like to put it on consent.
I have a question from Commissioner Crawford.
Commissioner King, is this money going to be allocated to the solid waste department specifically? And will it be for the purchase of equipment that will be used to handle any solid debris that might be picked up from a disaster?
Yes, and because they're the ones that's, they know more about moving waste and stuff than anybody else in the county, so that's where the money will probably go. And you can see in this resolution a list of some things that they've said that, we can buy with this money. So, that'll be, if we do get this money, that's probably what Mark will buy, and then that will have it, something happen, we'll be able to use this stuff, and we won't have to be searching for equipment to use or, be behind the ball, trying to get stuff moved.
Well, this equipment that will be purchased, will it be used solely for disaster use, or could we use it for other purposes?
And that's something I don't know exactly, but I think we could use that equipment, as long as, we just don't abuse it and tear it up, and so that if we do have a disaster, that, we'll have it and it'll be in good shape to where we can use it.
Any further discussion on item 7? Back to you, Commissioner King. You're asking for consent, correct?
Yes.
Without objection, item 7 will be placed on consent. Moving on to item 8, Commissioner Iverson.
Thank you, Chairman. Item 8 is directly from Sherry DeVault's office. This is one of those wins that we have by putting her in that position. It's really a great thing for our community. It's a reimbursable grant, but it's $80,000 for the tennis courts at Sullivan Heights Middle School. When it's Sullivan South, very active tennis team, but in the last few years, it's been in disrepair. So they've already cleaned it up. They've cleaned everything around it, but this is going to be an $80,000 reimbursable grant to redo the courts themselves, I believe the fencing as well, and make it a pickleball court as well. So the schools will be able to use it, the community will be able to use it. It is a reimbursable grant, and Darlene and I worked really hard on this one, so if you guys can support it, greatly appreciate it. And if it's possible, I'd like to put that on consent.
Any discussion on item 8? Seeing none, we'll place item 8 on consent. Moving on to item 9, Commissioner Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is just a resolution to dedicate the Petty John Road Bridge in honor of Corporal Donald R. Gauntz, who served honorably in the United States Marine Corps, demonstrating courage, dedication, and commitment to defending the freedoms of the United States of America. Following his military service, Corporal Gauntz continued to be a valued member of the local community, exemplifying the values of service, integrity, and patriotism, and forming Indian Springs Optimist Club, which is coming upon its 40th anniversary. And I spoke with his son last week, and one of the unique things about the club, I mean, it's a room full of young ladies playing volleyball. If you'll ever get a chance to go, it's at Central. But at that time, that was 40 years ago, and what he said to me was there was 0 opportunities for girls to really play anything. And so this was created 40 years ago for girls to play, and it's still going strong to this day. So we're going to dedicate a bridge to him, and I would like to put this, I don't want to put it on consent. If we could do waiver of rules, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Any discussion on item 9? Commissioner Jones.
I've been on this commission, we have had bridge dedications. And to the best of my knowledge, they were all killed in action, or we had a highway patrolman who was killed in an accident. We've never just chosen people out of the community to do a bridge. A lot of people have done extraordinary things in their communities, and I thought over this quite a bit. I've known Don and Dee was in the Optimist Club, and know what they did in their community. Their son served as a county commissioner, served with him, and he was here. I just want us to be very, very careful, because we have a limited number of bridges, both state and county, and within our geographic area. But be very careful of opening up a slippery slope.
Can I respond?
Any other discussion on item 9? If not, you can have the last word, Commissioner McMeans.
Yeah, I did speak with the Veterans Affairs officer, spoken with our highway commissioner, and zero problems with any of that, and I appreciate your comments on that. But I would like to put this on waiver of the rules, and thank you.
Item 9 will be placed on waiver of rules if there's no objection. Moving on to item 10, Commissioner Glover, you're recognized.
Before I get started on this resolution, Commissioner Ward wanted me to make sure I mentioned his name, and he was in this resolution. So Travis, you're in here about the third or fourth one. This resolution is for continuation and maintenance of the first due software for volunteer fire departments and rescue squads. Whereas Sullivan County relies dedicated fire departments and rescue squads to provide critical emergency response services to the residents and visitors of Sullivan County. I'm sure y'all don't want me to read all of that. Whereas the software was initially purchased by Sullivan County utilizing ARPA funding for the 24-25 fiscal year to bring all volunteer fire departments and rescue squads onto a singular software platform managed by Sullivan County Emergency Management Agency. We put that under Jim's office last year for a purpose for him to manage it, keep an eye on it, make sure that it's handled correctly. He did that. He came to our finance management meeting Tuesday morning and explained some things to us about it. I think he went to the, I don't know for sure, but I think he went to the budget committee. We did. Also, but this is very important for the fire departments and the rescue to continue to have. And, now therefore be resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Sullivan County, Tennessee, assembled in regular session 19th day hereby approve allocating the funds to continue the operations within the first due up to an amount of $53,135.37. And he also explained to us the amount that we're saving. I think if it was done individually, it would be like $140-some thousand, I believe is what he told us at that meeting, if I'm correct. So we're saving quite a bit of money by doing it this way and doing it in the package and letting Jim manage that. So be happy to answer any questions. If you'll look at all the co-sponsors that's on this, they've been involved in volunteer fire department programs with us and resolutions. So we thank all of them for signing on to it too.
To recognize Commissioner Carlton.
Thank you. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Yes, ma'am. All those voting in the affirmative will be added as a co-sponsor written out on the resolution. Yes, yes. That it's not in this resolution, but it'll be added as a line item in Mr. Beam's budget, and it will be continued on throughout the year that way. So that way we make sure it's all handled, took care of. And he agreed to do that. So we'll thank him and his department for helping with all that.
Commissioner Jones.
You're correct, Commissioner Glover. It did come before the budget last night, and it comes to us as a positive recommendation from the budget committee. I thought we would be added on. So, thank you for adding this all on.
I know it's got money in it, but it's a continuation of what we done last time. You want to put this on consent, or anybody have any questions?
That's up to the swatch.
I've been wanting to put it on consent.
With no objection, item 10 will be placed on consent.
It is new money because we paid for it last year out of the ARC funds, so if no one still has a problem with it, we'll put it on consent.
We're not gonna change our procedure. If it's new money, it needs not, it cannot go on consent.
Okay, we'll put it on waiver of rules then. Thank you.
Item 10 will be placed on waiver of rules. Any other discussion on item 10? We'll recognize Commissioner Jones on item 11.
If y'all remember back in February, we had an extreme cold event that took place, and at our health department office in Kingsport, AEP lost power, and the pump that circulates the water in the cooling tower stopped, causing some freeze breaks in the tubes in the cooling tower. There is a generator there, but that generator, it finally kicked on, but it was off long enough that it wasn't circulating water. So we had this presented to the budget committee last night, and I was trying to remember my notes that I took. Lynn presented to us last night. They have gone out, and this is an emergency situation. They got 2 quotes, and I think I'm correct on this. One was $103,000 for a new tower. The other was $53,000. Big difference. But they also, you'll see that $90,000, and the budget committee put that number in there because the company that could come in and replace the tower, it's going to be a while, at least 3 months before one, just like any other equipment, can be replaced. So they can come in and do a temporary repair on those tubes that were damaged during the freeze. They think that they can get us through that period till they get the new one there. So that's why we have up to $90,000 in the budget. And this is something, there's no air conditioning, no heat in the building right now for our employees that are working there every day. You know, this weather's just going up and down. I mean, yesterday we were out in shirt sleeves, shorts, and tonight it's freezing. But they have asked that we put this on waiver of rules so they can get the guys in there to go up inside the unit and repair on a temporary basis so it'll be operational till the new one gets there. So, this came out from the budget committee, unanimous, and we'll ask that it be put on waiver of rules.
I'd like to recognize Commissioner Glover.
Thanks, sir. Sam, does the county not have insurance on something like this?
I think it was way out of insurance. This thing had gone past warranty. It's been there since that building's been down there, and that was a building we renovated from a pharmacy some years ago, and I can't remember how many years, Gary, do you remember? Well, it's been several years, but to the best of my knowledge, that wasn't. Yeah.
Hannah's here. Can we ask her?
I'd like to recognize Hannah Taylor and then, well.
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
That's okay.
appreciate it. Thank you for recognizing me. So the unit actually is less than 2 years old.
Oh,
It is not considered under warranty for an active nature though, because of the freezing temperatures and the generator not kicking on. We did reach out to the warranty to see if it would be covered, and they said it was not because it was an active nature.
What about through county insurance? That's what I'm saying. Do we not have any type of insurance on them?
Oh, no, not on that, but we just have the warranty.
Commissioner Hopper.
Thank you, sir. Just out of curiosity, do you all have a maintenance agreement with the organization that keeps the contract with the maintenance agreement with the company that you work with?
Well, we did, and Gary, my predecessor, because the unit was so new and it was supposed to have a 5-year warranty, he canceled that. So for this year, for our Kingsport office, I have reached out to Comfort Systems and have sent that over to Lynn, and I plan to put it in my budget for this fiscal year.
In other words, had you been under some sort of maintenance agreement, they would have come out and assessed the situation and maybe prevented this.
Potentially, but I think it really was just, and I hate to say active nature, but just with the cold and then the issues with the generator with the cold as well, I don't know that it could have been necessarily prevented.
But for future reference, you will have maybe a semi-annual evaluation of equipment.
We'll have a quarterly maintenance contract.
Quarterly maintenance is even better. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Commissioner King.
I just got a question on the generator. That's supposed to be our backup system. And being that generator didn't start and run to keep the water circulated, but to me like there would be something that, I don't know how old the generator is or the warranty or anything about it, but that would be a place that I'd look at, you know, if that was put into the heating units was put in 2 years ago, when was the generator put in? And I look at it if there's some kind of warranty or something, and because it failed to start, then, you know, that's what caused the water to freeze.
I've already started that process with Kat, and Lynn mentioned, I forget the type of solution, but there's a solution you can put in the generator so the diesel doesn't get as cold, to run it over where it continues to do that. And I've reached out to Kat as well, who does our maintenance with the generator. The generator, we bought it with ELC funds with COVID, so it's at least 2021.
But it is a cat.
It's Kat, yeah.
Cat.
Yeah.
Well,
And they do quarterly maintenance as well, so I've already reached out to them to try to help me figure out why it didn't kick over and come on. I will say, our vaccine refrigerators never went out of cooling, so it shouldn't have been a huge time frame because our refrigerators and freezers in the health department should have started alarming as well, and they never did. So I don't know necessarily how cold it got.
Well, you could put alcohol in the diesel, if it's diesel or whatever kind of fuel it is, and keep it from freezing, gelling up's what you call it, but anyway, if there had been some kind of treatment put in the fuel, if that's, and I don't know what kind of fuel or what if it's propane or whatever it is, but anyway.
It's diesel, but I'm working on that one.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Jones.
Lynn Stewart went over with us last night on the budget. The amount that was in that mixture, he's already talked to the company. They can increase that mixture, and it should still operate. I don't know if you remember, Dwight, you went over that with us last night and discussed that, what they were looking at and the process of them, if they increase the amount of, I don't know, glycol, whatever they have it in there. He discussed that last night and went over that. And I think if you have a question, I call Lynn and talk to him. I don't want to get into a debate over that issue, but he did cover it.
Anything else, Mr. King?
Wasn't the glycol supposed to be in the heating part itself? In the water system where it circulates?
No, that's, I don't think that's part of the glycol. That's in the generator in the diesel fuel. But those questions, I think you need to talk to Lynn Stewart about.
If I can interject, I was there at the meeting, I think he said in the future they want to put the glycol in the thing to keep it from freezing. Any other questions for Ms. Taylor? Thank you, ma'am. Back to Commissioner Jones for the last word.
This is something that needs to be done. It's considered an emergency basis and put it on waiver rules.
Commissioner Jones asked for waiver of rules on item 11. That winds up the calendar. Any announcements? Commissioner Glover.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In reference to Angela Taylor, I spoke with Angela this week, and Joe done a great job on that resolution for her. The resolution we passed in here last month were the payment process program on the taxes. She has had an overwhelming request for that. So I just want to let y'all know that she's going to come in next month and talk to all of us and update us about some of the other things. But she says it's been overwhelming of the folks that's come in or called in and spoke with her about that program. So thank y'all again for what you've done, and she appreciates it.
Thank you. Commissioner Cross.
Thank you. I was wanting to invite the commission. I've always gotten to tell you about this after the fact, but this time I can tell you before the fact. Tennessee High, for the third year in a row, has gotten 100% voter registration among the senior class, and the Secretary of State will be there tomorrow at 10:45 a.m. So this is the first year I've gotten to tell you before he came. So if anybody would like to stop by at 10:45, he'll be there to present the students who pursued that with an award. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Means.
Just wanted to do a shout out to my intern here, Miss Reagan. This is clearly not Commissioner Horn tonight, but she did good. And this is I was just telling her, this is a normal, actually, night. So if y'all don't care, just give her a high five and encourage her. So thank you.
Commissioner Jones.
You find on your desk, I spread these out. We received them at our state commission meeting, and you've heard a lot of comments in the news about the possibility of a state property tax. And this is to oppose that in November. It will be on the ballot. You'll have the opportunity to ban a state property tax forever, for good. By voting yes on Amendment 2, it will protect you from that double taxation of local taxes with the state tax. And so that's why I picked up enough for each of us to have that. This doesn't come up till November, but it will be on the ballot. And you want to vote yes on Amendment 2 to forever ban the state income tax, or state property tax, sorry.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. Dr. Hopper.
Thank you, sir. Just as Commissioner Cross was blowing the horn for Tennessee High, I've got to add one more beat to it. Tennessee High beat Clinton High, which happened to be my former high school alma mater, and the basketball team is going to the state, and so they beat him by 1 point. And we need to look forward to the efforts that Tennessee High is going to put out in behalf of our part of the state.
Commissioner Ward.
Thank you. American Legion, guys and young lady, y'all stand up for a second. I'm going to attempt this. I'll get emotional. I know I will. I think I can speak for every person in this room
when I say this. We have the same passion that you do for our veterans in Sullivan County. And there's nothing that this group wouldn't do for our veterans. And I appreciate your passion for what you have and what you said tonight. And I want to truly thank you for being here, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ward, and that goes for all of us.
Our motto is be the one.
Thank you. That goes for all of us. Thank you. Commissioner Ayers.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to bring out one thing. Earlier, Commissioner Cross was very good in his presentation for Tennessee High, but he left out one small point that I consider is very valuable. Could you remind me who the teacher is that's gotten that all 3 years, Mr. Cross?
It was a collective effort of all three government
Oh, okay.
all three government teachers.
Commissioner Cross, thank you. And actually, one other part with that is Commissioner Cross and I went with the directors of schools in Kingsport and Sullivan County and talked to all of them, getting all of the county schools, Kingsport, Bristol, and Sullivan County schools to do the same thing. So again, thank you very much, Commissioner Cross, leading that effort, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. I'd like to wish Chairman Gardner a good trip next week, and be careful and make sure you get back in one piece.
I appreciate it.
Anything else?
I was going to say this, I was seeking recognition. I'm glad that we vote on the chair in September because he did an excellent job. And if there's no objection, I'll make a motion to adjourn to Thursday next.
No objection. We're adjourned.
So I can, oh man, I can do this. Grilling them. So, I've been, pardon me, I mean, it's like